the Traveler game last night.
It was good. You're getting some kind of echo when you talk.
Actually, it's you that are getting the echo. I don't have any external speakers, so it couldn't be me. Oh, I know what it is. We have to turn off our go to your Gearbox in Roll20 and go to audio video and mute yourself. That's what it is. Or set it to video only.
How about now?
That's better.
All right, there we go.
I always forget to do that with a new game.
Yeah. I gotta see if the dice options are like I like it too, I guess.
Yeah, whenever I start rolling bad, I change the color of my die. Yeah, our regular Saturday group will be down 2 players. Jeff will be joining us. I think he said mid-March, because he he is currently working on a computer build, and so it's a pirate ship computer, and so he is in the process of doing that so that he can get ready for PDX LAN and doing entering the case mod competition and all of that. And then Billy, who usually plays with us on Saturdays, is he's essentially nesting. His wife is pregnant, and so he's getting ready for prepping the apartment or whatever for baby. So he plans on joining us once she has popped it out. So
All right. I can understand why he's devoting his time to her, though.
Oh yeah, totally. I think she's like 4 months pregnant. I
Okay.
say, maybe 5 months. I'm not sure. So it shouldn't be too terribly long.
Yeah, hope that works out great. We'll be on our 3rd or 4th characters by then.
Oh shit, you might be on your 3rd or 4th character by next week.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this game can be quite lethal and brutal. I mean, it's old school. It's the really real D&D. But it a lot of I'm not the cruel dungeon master that that a lot of people automatically associate with OSR games.
Right.
But I mean, if the dice say you're dead, then
Right. You've got Gabriel in the background, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the other room, and we'll be getting ready to set up and play.
Yeah, I just gave him drugs last night without really giving a big talk.
Yeah, just whoop. Have some combat drugs.
I need to get some that. I need to come up with a drug that will increase dexterity or strength for a period of time.
Yeah.
What I need, because that to me that would be. I mean, God, if you could boost your dexterity by 5, that would be more combat effective than a free reaction and your initiative going way up.
Well, it kind of the combat drug kind of does do that, because it does increase your dex, because it's giving you that plus 40 your initiative, and you're shrugging off the 2 points of damage. I think it's both. I don't necessarily know that you're ignoring the 2 points. I think that you just don't feel it. You know what I mean? And I mean, it is basically like, snorting coke, you because it does make you faster. That's how your initiative goes up. So yeah.
Right. I mean, but I'm talking about pure dex improvements. You know, where like your actual dexterity now is up 5 points for the next 10 minutes. So when you use melee, gun or laser or whatever, you know, you get that bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Or if a strength bonus, you know, would your melees would be more effective.
Yeah.
That that was my point. You don't get that from the combat drug, but maybe that makes it broken. I
I,
don't know.
I I would think that the combat drug is actually more realistic though, because I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of any pharmaceutical way that you would be able to make yourself better with shooting. I mean, maybe there. I mean, I suppose that you could do like an eye drop or something that would give you a +1 to your like aiming and whatnot. But
Yeah.
but
There's sedatives that can stop your hands from shaking if you're sniping, like
Yeah.
the little bit shake. That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's probably fine. You know me, I always dream big.
Right.
It's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Hi, Cameron.
Hey. So my kids were both like really sick, so I didn't learn shit about old school essential. It was on my list, but there was like constant crisis crap going on. So
Oh,
they're
no,
better today.
If they had what I just got over, man, like I said, I feel for them because that sucked.
Yeah, they didn't get very sick all year and just got like really sick for like at least a week. It was really bad.
Yeah, mine was probably 4 or 5 days that I was. I mean, at one point I was. This rarely happens. I was just completely down and out. I was like, I cannot write today. I can't do shit. I am just gonna plant myself on my recliner and turn on TV, and that's what I did for like 12 hours. That was it.
Yeah, they could play video games without having to like earn it because they were sick, and both of them had a day where they just like slept. So you know
Yeah.
it's serious when they won't.
Yeah.
You know.
If they don't even want to play video games, then you know it's pretty bad.
The Appalachian witches say that if you take your water and put it in a cleared glass and put it out under the full moon, like the one we had earlier this February, drinking that, not letting the sunlight get to it, but drinking that will promote good health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't really hurt, so why not try it?
Right. You know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's good to cover all the bases: magic, religion, and science.
Yeah, maybe my kids got cursed. I have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possible.
Well, I'm in a whole lot of witch groups because it helps me. You know, the way that they do a lot of their beliefs and cultures and stuff bleeds over to role playing really great.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you want to role play a druid, you know, and you're wallering around in shit outside and all that, you know, then you're a good, you know, you're, what is that, the Wheel of Time, maybe
Yes,
it was
the Wheel
was
of
it?
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, were those druids, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, Britannia druid is what I'm talking about.
What in the world did I miss when I jumped into this conversation?
Oh, you know, pet
My
rocks.
kids were sick. I don't know. Like we got here somehow from that. It was cool.
Came in and something about video games, and then it was water and the moon and dwarves. What the hell?
You know, we mix it up.
Yeah, they were too. My kids were like so sick they didn't even want to play video games. And then I got a hot health tip about moon water
Yeah.
to try.
Did you try the
I don't-
potatoes and the socks?
I don't know what phase the moon is ever in because there's the trees block like everything. I can't see stars. Like I'm, kind of in the country, but that's one thing I'm missing out on.
February 5th was the snow moon, is what they call it. It was the moon of the ending of winter.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, that's the name of the early
Yeah,
February
they all have different
full
names.
moon.
If the moon sees its shadow, you end up with 3 more weeks of winter.
No, the blood moon is more later in the year. But yeah, they've all got their own special little cool, cute names.
I was thinking about Groundhog's Day the other day, and I'm like, what a stupid, idiotic holiday and belief is that, oh, if the groundhog sees its shadow, you're gonna get 3 more weeks. What? Who the fuck came up with this? Like, what?
I
were-
Sounds
saw-
like something you say when you're drinking a lot.
I know, or doing mushrooms. Yeah.
Like a kid asks you, like, "Hey, is spring coming?" And you're like, "I gotta ask the groundhog." And you have to-
I saw a thing. I watched a thing about it just the other day. It's actually not that silly.
Oh, really?
No, it goes all the way back to ancient Celts. So ancient Celts, the big thing you don't realize is that they have like 4 festivals a year, and their big thing is, I think you call them equinoxes,
Mhm.
the places that are halfway between.
Oh
between,
yeah, the solstice and the equinox.
yeah,
The solstice is the longest day, and the equinox.
or maybe
is-
it's not that. Maybe it's, but anyway, they have these 4 festivals, of which Halloween is one, and then so February. So the Groundhog's Day is basically like halfway to, I don't know. Anyway, it's halfway in between something. And they have their 4 festivals halfway in between these cycles. And so all it is it's the beginning of spring, basically.
yeah.
And they have all these old traditions about watching basically rodents. They're watching for portents from the rodents. But there's this idea that if it's too good, then that can be bad too.
Yeah, that's true because they did do a lot of with the whole Fae and whatnot. The Fae want to make
Yeah.
everything look really good, and usually it's a definite way of screwing you.
We have
So it's-
fake spring here. Right now, it's fake spring. We know we have another freeze coming, but it's spring weather. Plants are waking up.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's going to freeze and kill all all the early buds off half the trees. It
Yeah.
does it all the time now.
We
Sad.
are just waiting for Brian to get in. And then we can get to character creation.
Cameron, you were the one going to be the
Literally
cleric.
sitting on the screen right before the login.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I should probably click that.
Gonna
Launch
make
game.
And so what I will come up with, I have another window open here. And maybe I have another window open. Yeah, here we go. And is this going to work? Yeah, it's gonna be problematic. That's okay. I will just do it this way.
I found some old school essential character generators, but I didn't know if they were adequate for what we were doing, so I
Well,
abandoned.
so let me go ahead and I'll introduce us. Welcome to Braunhaven. This is our first session, our first episode, session 0. We're going to be creating characters for Old School Essentials. Before we get started, we'd like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. And today we would like to thank Norse Foundry. Norse Foundry makes beautiful metal and stone dice for your tabletop RPGs. They are quite fantastic. And all of their stone dice are hand carved, hand engraved, the whole bit. You can find them in the links down below in the video, and send them a message. Tell them that we sent them to you. The Greenwater Guildhall on YouTube. We don't have a website for this particular game as of yet. I am still in the process of kind of formulating how that's going to come about. But when we do, it'll be in the links down below as well. That will again be a part of Obsidian Portal, and so once that is created and available, you'll be able to link to that down there, and it will the adventure log. Usually I do the adventure logs in a news type format, so this will be kind of like folklore and rumors that get passed around the region. So, first thing is first. Bring up my... So, if you look in the Player's Tome, there are two ways that you can create characters. The first way is the basic method. And basically the basic method, essentially the way that works is that class and race are one and the same. So if you decide that you want to play a dwarf, that is also your class. You are essentially the dwarfiest dwarf there is that ever dwarfed. Elves are the same way. You could Snurfneb or Zverfneblin or Halfling. They're all their own class. An example, like elves, for instance, are basically fighter magic users rolled into one. The other way, and this was the way that I generally remember playing when I was young, was that you would do a class and a race. Now, the thing to keep in mind with that is that not all races can't be all classes. So, as an example, let me look here. As an example, we'll take Half-Orc, and Half-Orc can be an acrobat up to 8th level. It can be an assassin up to 8th level. It can be a fighter up to 10th level, or it can be a thief up to 8th level. Also, in my campaign setting, Half-Orcs can be a barbarian up to 10th level. And it doesn't matter which method that you decide to choose. You can do either one. It's up to you. In addition to these races and classes, there are also races and classes in the 2 Carcass Crawler issues. A favorite of mine is the Gargantuan. And if you look on this map here, up to the north, there is this nation called Stagina. Staginians are all Gargantuans. So they are like 7.5 foot tall half giants. They call them cousins of humans. They look like humans, but they're huge, powerfully built. And in my campaign, they also, all Staginians, Gargantuans, get seafaring as a secondary skill for free, automatically. They are basically 7.5 foot tall Vikings. They can also be barbarians. I forget how high they go, but that's in the Carcass Crawler issues. And then there is also a folder on the server called I believe it is Races and Classes. What did I call that? Classes and Races, yeah. And in there is the Kobold. There is something called Oktoberfest. And in Oktoberfest there is the Witch Hunter, the Witch, and Jackokin. You could definitely play any of those. And there is the Kobold, those 3, and then the Necromancer and the Leprechaun. So you can be whatever you want for those. Now, first things first, the first thing we need to do is generate some numbers here. So roll 3d6, 6 times? and then I'm going to allow you to place those numbers wherever you want for your abilities, strength, dex, etc.
Do we have any particular type of character we need more or less than?
Well, I can tell you you're going to want. I mean, that's funny because there's 4 of you, so you're going to want somebody who is going to be a cleric or druid, preferably a cleric, because druids, no matter how high a level they are, do not get resurrection. I don't believe they get any kind of res spell. I might be wrong on that, but I don't believe they do. So cleric is better, but if you want to play a druid and you just with healing and whatnot, druids are an excellent choice. You're going to want a thief because traps are a thing. But you're also a caveat to thieves being trap monkeys. And we'll get into this more too, but you're going to want to come up with more inventive ways of getting around traps than just assuming that the thief can go in and make some dice rolls, because that'll be a really quick way to get your thief killed. Hold on, I'm trying to do 2 things. Here we go. Dice option. I want to enable 3D dice. Automatically roll 3D dice. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see here. So once you have your 6 characteristics, you can then place them in the places where you want them. Now, one of the things to keep in mind with these is that the classes and maybe the races. Let me take a look here. So, like for the races, there are requirements. So, in order to be a dwarf, you have to have a minimum con of 9.
Sorry, I have to laugh. My first roll was 3 1s.
Oh shit! If you roll 1, you can re-roll one of those 1 time as a get out of jail free card.
Can we roll one of them? Oh, great.
Well, you can re-roll one of the rolls itself. So those 3 1s, you could toss that 3. Although, I mean, a 3 is going to give you some great role-playing opportunities.
Yeah, for the character to die quickly, sure, yeah.
So for instance, like dwarves need to have a minimum con of 9. Elves have to have a minimum intelligence of 9, etc. The classes have what is called a prime requisite, and some of the classes have multiple prime requisites. So barbarians, their prime requisite is con and strength. So you're going to want con and strength for barbarian to be your 2 highest abilities. So that's something to keep in mind. And here again, there's a requirement for barbarian. You have to have a minimum dex of 9. So you need to meet those minimums in order to take a race or class. So you're going to want a cleric or druid. You're going to want a thief. You're definitely going to want either a fighter or a paladin, somebody of the tanky persuasion. And having a magic user of some kind isn't a terrible idea. I personally like just straight up magic users because they have a smattering of everything, and they scale really well to becoming massive damage dealers. But there's also specialists like the illusionist or the necromancer. You could play those. If you didn't want to play like just a straight fighter, you could just play an elf. And an elf is an excellent fighter and magic user all rolled into one. So however you guys want to do it. I'm open, and because the 2 methods can play right next to each other, and there's no detriment to that.
So, I mean, Cameron was telling about she wants to be the cleric druidy type, right? Does anybody else have a preference?
I'm 100% certain I have no idea what I want.
I think Gabe was saying he wanted to play something martial. So you've this is one of the things. Old school essentials. This is about the only thing that I kind of have a bone to pick with them, is that if you read under specializations for weapons, which we're not going to use their rules. Instead, fighters are going to get combat talents, and we'll get to that in a moment. If assuming somebody picks a fighter. So the it says, oh well, you get this many specializations for martial classes. You get this many specializations for partial martial classes, and then non-martial classes get like one. And I'm like, but at no point does it tell you what is a full martial class or not, and you have to kind of guess. I'm like, eh. So, anyways,
the cleric. I'm making 2 character sheets. They're both clerics. They're just going to be humans, so the class will just be, yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna play a human, then none of the stuff applies. And here's one thing: is that humans are the only class or the only race that can go all the way up to level 14.
Oh.
You can also multi-class. You can multi-class up into 3 different character classes. When you get XP, you have to divide that experience across those 3 classes evenly.
Complicated.
And let me see. Okay. I think I was looking for the server link.
Oh, I can make that happen.
And then I'll need the password also, because I can't keep track of anything.
Yep, I can do that.
Right.
I'll just post it in our Facebook Messenger group. Keep out the riffraff.
I got a pretty good roll on my stats, so I could make a paladin if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I had kind of a shit roll and then a decent one. So the backup character is going to be the crappy one.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to make 2 characters, right? Because one's gonna probably die.
You can make 2 characters. It's up to you. It's like I was saying before. This game can be fairly lethal.
Well, my clerics are from the Order of the Martyr. So feel free to shove me in the way to die. What you gotta do. All the clerics will be from there.
I think I'm going to play a bard. It's what I'm going to make.
Heck yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Thank you.
make the bard.
Okay, so I went ahead and posted that in the Braunhaven Facebook Messenger group.
Cool. Classes and races. Here we go.
You have so many character sheets.
I'm just using the one that is kind of here in roll 20. If
that's a good character sheet.
if Dwarvish dies, then I will I'll rethink things.
The other thing is that at first level, I'm not going to have you guys roll for hit points. You can take maximum hit points plus the maximum die roll plus your con modifier at level 1.
How do you figure out what your modifier is?
That is let's see here.
Page 21.
Character sheet to use in the
Correct.
thing.
Yep. And
Thank you.
it's different for each ability.
Wait, what did he say? I missed the thing. Sorry, I was asking a question.
So, like strength modifiers, each ability has different things. Unlike 5th edition, where it's everything is like, oh well, I've got a 9 to 12 is always +0. It's different for each ability in Old School. Well, I guess not really, but they do different things.
Now that it seems like people kind of decided what they want to be. Is there anything that's like especially needed so I can fill in that gap maybe?
Yeah, I mean, is any going to be
up, right? Do you have anybody that's going to beat people up or be a tank or anything?
Well, I think Gabriel was going to be the fighter tank persuasion.
Oh, okay. So educator or another tank, because I think Gabriel joins the game less often than you, Brian. So it will be like tankless probably sometimes.
Okay, that works. I'll be something tanky.
Charisma -1. Okay.
What the hell is a leprechaun?
Yes, there is the leprechaun race. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I have to get this. How many opportunities do you get to play a leprechaun?
True.
All right.
Pretty
So I'll
awesome.
get +1 hit point. So I'll have 7 hit points. Then looks
Excellent.
like. Yeah, that's a lot of hit points.
Yeah, for level 1. I mean, there was a guy on on Twitter that rolled up a magic user that ended up with like 1 hit point. And it's somehow he's kept him alive. He's played multiple sessions. It's like, all right,
I guess I go to hit die on the character sheet. Is that what I'm looking for my hit points? HD?
Let's see. Let me see if I can see a character. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, HD would be your hit dice. That's odd.
Yeah.
Put it that way, but other than that, this is actually a really good character sheet.
All right, so now I'm looking up for exploration and stuff. Is that what I'm doing?
You're I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, okay. I've got my alignment, my name, my class.
So yeah, there's only 3 alignments. There's lawful, which is considered to be your good, just people. There is neutral, which is generally they believe in a balance between the forces of law and chaos. They're generally going to be in it for themselves. And then there is chaotic, which runs the gamut of being completely evil to being selfish, but generally they're the bad guys.
And we're in theory going to be a good party.
Well,
probably.
So
usually,
yeah, I mean, usually you guys are going to want to be the good guys, but here's the thing: you can pick your alignment. You do not have to tell the other players what your alignment is. So you could, let's say that you want to be the evil wizard in the party, but you're going to act all, strawberry shortcake nice and play well with the rest of the party without them knowing your evil designs.
That's fine. I'm going to be rather neutral. It'll be really apparent in how I role play my self-serving bard having ass.
Yeah. So you're going to play a bard?
Yeah. Sure am. I'm hoping I can figure out a way to get the ability to pick locks in there, but if not,
Multi-class bard thief.
yeah, we could do that.
That would be your quickest way of getting around that. So the half orc, as a class, half orcs have some thiefy abilities as well.
I think I'll be a bard thief. That's fine.
Okay. Actually, I always kind of felt that kind of fit, because bards, in my viewpoint, old school bards were always kind of that shifty, larcenous nature.
Now let's see.
So I have most of the basic stuff filled out, but I don't know what my equipment is, and that affects like my AC and stuff. So
Correct. We'll get to that in just a moment.
okay, I'll just start filling out the sheet for the backup person.
So what is Gabe playing?
I made a dwarf.
Nice. Dwarves are good at hitting stuff.
Yeah, the thing here doesn't let us pick a multi-class.
It doesn't?
No.
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. I have to come up with a different way. That's all.
Huh. Well, I mean, you could put it under...
I've got these character sheets that maybe the purest old school essentials character sheet.
Yeah, that's an excellent character sheet.
Right there.
And they're form fillable.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I can just resave this as my character and go with it. I'm going to keep my stats, though, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Bard.
So the one thing, if you're multi-classing, you have to meet the requirements for both classes. So that can make multi-classing a little difficult. But you can massage those numbers. So you can pull... How did that work? Here, hold on. You can pull... What? Let's see here. So you can adjust ability scores. You can pull from strength, intelligence, and wisdom. 1 point would put 2 points into whatever you're moving them into. But you can't lower a score below 9.
I have a question about the exploration part. Is this open stuck door but based on strength? So if your strength modifier is negative, does that mean you have a 0 in 6 chance of opening a stuck door?
That's an excellent question. Let me go back to page 21 because it'll tell you.
Oh.
No, it's still 1 in 6.
Sweet. Okay, good.
Yeah, 1 in 6 is like the lowest that you can have. So similar to like the combat talents for fighters, there was an alternate way of doing thief abilities, to where you would get like expertise points, and at first I was thinking about using it, but then I got to reading it, and it feels to me like it is way it is overpowered. Like, there's just too many expertise points given out. I would have to really massage that and come up with a system that works. And then when I got to looking, I'm like, well, the reality is that, for a level 1 thief, it's not really that bad as it is. A lot of people are, thieves are broken. I'm like, I don't think they are. You're a lot better at climbing than you are at picking locks or disabling traps, but I think that was by design.
Now, when I multi-class, I only get half the amount of hit points when I do a level, right? I don't get both the bard and the thief hit points.
Let
Is that right?
me double check. Let's see here. Multiple classes. Hit points. When determining hit points at creation or upon gaining a level, any hit points gained are divided by the number of classes. So yeah, you would roll, when you gain a level, you would roll hit points, or first level, so you're getting maximum hit points, and then divide by 2 if you're 2 classes.
Yeah, I just have to find out if they're the same. It doesn't really matter right now because it would add out. I have to look at, is the thief a 6? I wonder. I know the bard is. I have to get them both on the different pages.
So here's the example that it gives for a fighter thief. Gains a thief level and the player rolls 1d4 for hit points. The result is a 3, meaning the character gains 1.5 hit points. Upon gaining a fighter level, the player rolls 1d8 for hit points. The result is a 5, meaning that the character gains 2.5 hit points. The half hit points gained for the thief and fighter levels add up to a whole hit point. So make sure that you maintain those 0.5s because they'll come in handy later.
We just can't use them until they're a full hit point.
Right.
Yeah.
So generally, multi-class characters level a little slower than everybody else, but it works out because you have more abilities. You have more capabilities. Usually, you have more hit points. So,
Yeah. So my thief is a D4.
right.
So it would give me 5, which would be 2.5 points plus the 4. So that's 6.5 hit points starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
So the one good thing about Old School Essentials is that you're not going to be, like Cameron was saying, she was taking care of sick kids, so she didn't have time to read up. But the thing is, you guys already know how to play this game. If you've been playing 5e, it's essentially, the same rules as far as how you roll your dice and for the basics, it's the same. The way I explained it to my in-person Sunday group is I said you'll spend more time unlearning all the bad habits that 5e has taught you. So there's no advantage, disadvantage. You don't roll for every single thing. There's no skills. So, thieves have skills and things like that, but for the most part, there's no skills. And so, instead, you're going to roll for an ability check. And the way ability checks are rolled, let's say that Gabe the dwarf is going to try and tightrope walk across a chasm. He would have to roll a d20 and get under his dex. And he could subtract his modifier from his dice roll to help with that. That's about the only time that you're going, other than percentage, that you're going to want to roll low. If you haven't done so already, go into your Roll20 settings in the little gear icon in the upper right corner and go to audio video and make sure that you're set to video for both others can see or hear and I can see or hear. And make sure that that's set to just video. And then click the reconnect button so we can avoid echoes.
On my multi-class that I'm trying to pull off here, what do I do about saving throws? Do I just pick the better of the two?
The character uses the best saving throw value in each category and the best THAC0 value of all of their classes.
Okay, so I just pick the best of any world that I'm participating in.
Correct.
All right. We're going to get into spells after I get a level. That's exciting, I guess.
Yeah, the one downside is clerics don't get any spells at first level, so be prepared for
Oh,
that.
clerics don't either?
Nope.
Neither does the bard, so that's great.
You guys usually play pretty smart though. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is very similar to like Traveler, where you have to be smart with how you play. Unlike, 5th edition, where, it almost became a tropey kind of joke with Brian running in or Gabe running in and kicking up in the door in every dungeon. Like, you may not want to do that in old school Essentials. So then we will get to, this kind of brings us to THAC0. So THAC0 stands for 2-hit AC 0. And let me pull up we'll use the dwarf as the oops, that's the wrong dwarf. I want dwarf as class. So if you look at the dwarf class at level 1, you have a THAC0 of 19, in brackets is a 0. So the 0, that number in brackets is if we were going to use ascending AC, which is an option. It makes it more like modern 5th edition. I would prefer not to use that. So a THAC0 means that with your strength mod, which would be your base attack bonus with a sword, you would have to get a 19 in order to hit an armor class of 0. Because lower armor class is better. How did I get on that page? So I'm looking at the matrix. It says that you'd have to get 20 in order to hit -3 armor class. But when you look at... Does it show... It does not. But I can tell you what the... on your character sheet, you will see... Pull up a character sheet. Show the matrix. Oh, maybe this isn't a great character sheet. It doesn't even show the attack matrix. Weird. Well, that's kind of poopy. So, on a regular character sheet, you would have an attack matrix. And it will say... It'll say attack value matrix, and it'll be listed from 9 down to 0. And it just basically goes all along this attack matrix chart, which I wonder if it is actually in the player's tome, or if that's in the ref's tome.
What, the attack matrix?
Yeah, is that actually in?
Yeah, it's a version of it is in the player's tome.
There it is.
241.
Okay. Yeah, so page 241 gives you your attack matrix, and you would just copy that down, and that way you know what you need to hit from AC 9 all the way down to AC 0. You can ignore -1, -2, -3, because, I mean, honestly, you guys aren't going to... At first level, you're not going to be running into those ACs. I mean, you're going to have to be... Generally, I haven't... Honestly, in all the adventures that I've created, I've been creating stuff for levels 3 through 5, and I haven't seen any of those ridiculous types of AC yet, so... So that is your attack matrix. And NH, when you look at that attack matrix, stands for normal human. That's basically a level 0 peasant plebeian that's walking around tilling his field, worrying about being oppressed. So you would want the second line up to 1.
It says,
For us, I would say your class will give you your THACO
Yes,
and look up the line based on your THACO
correct.
and then read it over.
Yeah. So
And that'll give you all your.
yeah, I believe I think all of you are going to be 19-0 for level 1.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, it's a little inside out, but
Yeah.
it makes sense after a while.
I am 19-0.
Yeah.
In both Thief and Bard, so I can scroll down to THACO, I guess.
Or another way is if you know that your THACO is 19 at 0, put 19 and count down up the scale. So if 19 is 0, 18 is 1, 17 is 2,
Correct.
16 is... and it's going to be the same for all. Once you put the THACO in the 0, just count down for the row.
Correct.
I was trying to find THACO on the character sheet. Is the problem?
So it won't say THACO on the character sheet. It'll say attack value matrix.
Attack value, attack, and I'll put THACO 19-0. All right.
It's funny
Now,
because when I played basic and up to first edition D&D, we loathed THACO. And it was, the idea of going back to THACO at first was, I hated that idea. But then I I read through it and I'm like, wait a minute, why did we hate this so much? I mean, it's pretty easy.
What is the charisma modifier to reaction roll if your charisma is a 17?
It is
page 21 for the
+1
player's tome.
So it's +1 for
+1.
NPC reactions. You can have up to 6 retainers, and those retainers will have a maximum loyalty of 9.
Yeah, it's not showing me cool spots to put that shit. There's my experience.
The Roll20 character sheet has a tab for
doing all
retainers. But all it really lets you do is put in what their reaction score is, and your number of retainers and their loyalty. So it doesn't really give you a whole lot of information. But I already kind of thought of this. Let me put in a handout. I copied in the stat blocks for normal humans and veterans. That way, if you guys decide to hire meat shields, I mean retainers, you can see what their stats are.
Under the human things, it says I get a +1 to my charisma. If I make myself an actual human class, I mean an actual human under the race thing, do I get a +1 to my charisma? Is that?
So that would be if we were using an optional rule where all races can be all classes, and we're not doing that.
Okay.
Because
right. So I don't even.
Here's my reason for not doing that, and it's not that I'm being racist against dwarves, etc. It is because the original way of doing it, the reason why races couldn't go all the way to level 14 was because they were strong in other aspects. An example of that is, let me go back to the dwarfiest of dwarfs as an example. So a dwarf's max level is 12. A 12th level dwarf with all of their abilities is equal to a 14th level human in any class. And so if you the optional rule of is, well, if you're not going to do that, then you have to give humans some bonuses, and I just don't. It doesn't seem like enough to me.
So we roll 3d6 and we multiply it by 10, and that's how much money we start out with.
That is how you. That is how much starting gold you get. Correct. So it's 3d6 times 10.
So 80. That's great.
And your equipment can be purchased on page 94 of the player's tome is where all the equipment is. So there's like 3 types of armor and then a shield. So if you, being a bard, you probably are a bard thief, you're probably going to pick leather armor. Your AC is 7. The 12 in brackets is for ascending AC. So your AC would be 7 minus your dexterity modifier. So if you have a bonus to your dex modifier, that's good. If you have a negative to your dex modifier, your AC actually goes up. So instead of that 7, if you add a -1 to your dex for whatever reason, which would make you a really shitty thief, but let's say that you did, you would have an AC of 8 instead of 7, which unfortunately is going to make you easier to hit. And if you can use a shield and you were using one, then that +1 bonus means that's another 1 that that you would deduct from your AC.
Okay, equipment. Here we go.
So we will be using basic encumbrance, and this will essentially tell us, based on what your armor is, will tell us what your movement rate is.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, leather armor counts as light armor. Chainmail and plate would be heavy armor.
I can use chainmail, but it probably makes it so it's harder for me to sneak.
I don't believe... Yeah, they don't really give you... there's no plus or minus to sneaking due to armor in Old School Essentials, but I would think that chainmail probably wouldn't be nearly as bad as plate mail. I mean, just logically thinking, plate mail would be a little hard to sneak around in.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of money though. Ugh.
Right. Don't worry, we'll change that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got to get. I mean, I'll have to buy an instrument too. So I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to at least get the basics to get me.
If you are not wearing armor, your armor class is 9.
But
minus your dex mod.
Yeah.
So I guess it looks like I'm going with a half-orc fighter.
Sweet. Grog hit
I'm
big
still
things.
trying to figure this. I'm like, I'm so confused.
Am I just missing where the instruments are, or is it just kind of written in that I have an instrument because I'm a bard and
Dun, dun, dun. You know what? I don't think that they have anything for instruments. I see adventuring gear. I see here's poison. I think that you end up just having an instrument.
Okay.
So there's a freebie for you. I think it's funny that they don't have an instrument in here, but the cleric has to buy a holy symbol.
Hey, let's not hate.
Yeah, and they're fucking 25 gold pieces.
Yeah, I would. And looking at thieves' tools, they're 25 gold pieces as well. So I would say that a instrument is going to run you 25 gold pieces. Is what I'm seeing.
Oh,
Actually,
well, okay. Now hear me out. All right. What if my instrument is a hand carved little flute that I make out of sticks and crap that I find, and a dagger? What if I just bought a dagger?
yeah, you could do that.
I've seen people make flutes before out of can't remember the kind of tree. Yeah. Anyway, I've seen it.
Bards, yeah, bards are kind of a natural thing. We're into nature. Our spells are druid spells. So, I mean, to be able to whittle a little flute, I promise I'll buy a dagger.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see here. Religious items, transport, weapons, armor. Evidently, the first edition player's handbook didn't care about musical instruments either. Yeah, you can hand carve your own flute. That's fine.
And just like that,
Yeah.
Dwarvish became Jethro Tull. All right. Play a flute with leather armor. I'll have some thieves' tools. So you said you take the base of the armor,
and
like
subtract
leather.
Yep,
is
and then subtract your dex modifier.
And then so I'll subtract 7 minus 2 then, and that'll be 5. 5 AC is my AC.
Correct. You'd have a 5, 14 in brackets AC.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to put the number in brackets, you don't have to, because I don't plan on using ascending AC. But if you are looking for, compare it to what your AC would be in 5th edition, you would have an AC of 14. Which
I'm looking for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm looking for religions because it says that I can piss off my god if I do it wrong.
So, religions are not in the player's tome. They are specific to each individual campaign. In the Braunhaven campaign setting book, there is a chapter on page 23 for religion. So, in Braunhaven, there are what is known as the old gods, and then there is the 12 known gods. And so the old gods were present when the world was created. And the old gods, there are 7 old gods. There's Montus, he's a god of elemental earth. He's known as the Mountain Father or the Great Rock Father. There is Tula, who is the mother goddess of... Oh, I'm sorry. Montus is neutral alignment. Tula, the mother goddess, she's like the mother of humans and halflings. She's neutral alignment. There is Wedding, who is the goddess of love, and the patron mother of weddings, neutral alignment. There is Thuros, the god of elemental fire, the great flame, the ash father. He's chaotic. Phrygia is the goddess of elemental air, the great wind mother. She's chaotic. Satis is the god of elemental water, the great wave mother. She is known as the Kraken in the deep. She is neutral alignment. There is Sanaz, patron father of elves. He is lawful alignment. And those are the old gods. Well, then, things were going pretty good in the primordial soup of the creation of the world. But the prime plane impacted with another plane of existence. And in that impact, the Council of 12 Elder Gods entered the world of Braunhaven. And so the old gods, the 7 days of the week are named after the old gods. The 12 months of the year are named after the Council of the 12 Elder Gods. And the Council of 12 is Janus, King of the Elder Gods, ruler of the Celestial Palace. He is lawful. There is Festus, who I believe Festus. I want to say that she's Janus's wife, but I might be wrong. She's Queen of the Thawing Heart. She's lawful alignment. There is Maricus. He is known as the Messenger. He's lawful alignment. There's Aepus, neutral alignment, the daughter of the rains, giver of nourishment. She is known as the Gray Lady. Her most common depiction is that she's wearing a gray dress, and her hair is actually storm clouds. There is Massus. He is the harbinger of summer. He is neutral alignment. Janau is the warm prophet, lawful alignment. Julief, the celestial bride. Julief is the wife of Janus. She's neutral alignment, and even though she's neutral alignment, she's often pissed off because Janus has an affair with Decus, who is the Winter Lord. He's lawful alignment. There's Agaron, the Warbringer, the Feeder of Tombs. He's chaotic alignment. Septum, Grandfather Harvest, neutral alignment. Octus, the Lord of the Dead, chaotic alignment. Navius, the Cold Mistress, chaotic alignment. And then there is a 13th he's worshipped as a deity, but he's not really a deity. Let's see, which one was it? So Navius actually descended to the Hells and kicked out a greater devil that ruled the Stygian lair. And this greater devil is named Vuslux. And Vuslux came to the Prime Plane because he had no home, and kind of set himself up, and he is worshipped as the one god. He's known as the Crone Father. And the Glaustian Empire, their capital city of Glaushine, has kind of instilled him as the ruler of, or the prime god that is to be worshipped in the Glaustian Empire. But he is deeply, deeply evil. And unlike the other gods, he pretty much openly walks the plane of mortals. He doesn't care.
I think I'll pick Maricus.
Maricus?
Maricus. Okay, yeah, that.
Yeah, Maricus is a good one.
So I think I'm pretty much set. I think.
Did you roll 3d6 times 10 for your starting money?
Yeah, I did the money. I bought stuff. I updated my AC in light of the stuff I bought. I need to do the encumbrance. That's it, and then I think I'm done.
So encumbrance. So that's really, we're going to use basic encumbrance, and basically what that means is that depending on what type of armor you're wearing, that's going to depict what your movement rate is. And let me here. Time, weight, and movement. So what kind of armor are you wearing?
Leather.
Okay, so you are lightly armored. Your movement weight without treasure is going to be 90 feet, And that is your wilderness movement rate, and then in parentheses it's 30 feet. So you can move 30 feet in a dungeon. That's your encounter movement rate. So encumbrance, after you start to carry treasure, then your encumbrance becomes 60-20.
It says exploration. Is that the same as overland?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. Looks like it's filled out.
No, your overland is half your base. Your exploration is
Okay.
Okay, so your base movement is 100, right? What is
120.
what does leather take off of that?
It would be light. That would count as light armor. So your basic encumbrance movement rate is on page 215.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are looking at without treasure because you haven't gotten any treasure yet.
So feet per turn is 30, or
Yeah, in a dungeon during an encounter, so let's say that you're in a fight with a mind flare, you can move 30 feet.
okie doke. All right. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, so I can go 90 feet.
Yep, 90-30. 90 is your exploration. So basically, that 90 feet number is basically a guideline for how far you can move when you're just out of combat. This is no encounter. 90 feet in a turn is the rough amount that you can move. 30 feet is what you can move in a turn in a combat encounter.
Okay. So 30 is what I move in a turn, and then overlap is a fifth of the base per mile per rate. So that'll be by the slowest of us.
So
Yes.
Cameron, you are a human, is that right?
Yep. Human first cleric is named Cassandra.
Okay.
Okay, I think I've got most of my stuff. I've got my bells and whistles done.
Okay.
I might have to go look at tables for how well I climb surfaces and all that, but I'm playable as I am.
So yeah, if you go to the thief class, it'll tell you what your level 1 what your rolls are.
I have I have it on a window. I just don't have it on my character sheet yet. But if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Worst stats ever.
Well, the good thing about playing a fighter is that everybody can be a fighter. So if a paladin pisses off their god or changes their alignment and loses their paladin abilities, they suddenly become a fighter. Everybody can be a fighter. So I have a character portrait for Cameron.
So if only one of my stats breaks 10, is that bad?
No.
In theory, 10 is your average roll.
Yeah.
3d6. So
Breaks 10. My character is well below average.
right. That is what happens when. Yeah.
It'll be interesting, but I don't think it'll make too much difference.
No, it shouldn't be that bad.
I mean, because if he has a
Two characters,
17 in
so people
charisma
back
and
the
he's only
character,
getting a
yes.
+1.
Hmm?
He has a 17 in charisma and he's only getting a +1. So, it's much more of a bell curve besides deck 20.
Well, that 17 in charisma is a +1 just on the charisma. If you move that 17 to strength, you'll find it has a +2 or a +3 to damage and shit. I mean, it's depending on what you throw it under. Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I actually understood what the hell you two just said.
But you're not gonna get a big payout on your charisma on stat bonuses because charisma is a little bit more limited in the game. If you put that same 17 on a strength or an intelligence, you'll see a lot more benefit kickoff. Like I think it'll give you like a +3 on your AC if you put it at Dex. Or
Where'd you find that you know that? I'm so confused on where that's coming from in the first
Do you have
place.
the player's tome, page 21?
21.
Outlays your things. So a 17 in strength is a +2. That's pretty good, and it's a +2 in Dex. So, I mean, it's not. You'll be all right. It's a lot like Traveler.
What part of my best stat? I had one stat above 10. Did you miss?
I mean, how low are they? You got a 3, right?
I had a 3, but he said I could drop one of them and re-roll it, so the 3 went away.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's right. I rolled twice. That's right. I have 2 different characters. The second character had absolute shite. The first character has a 16, a 16, 11, 10, 10, 7.
Yeah, that guy's gonna live forever.
The other character, on the other hand, had 11, 8, 7, 7. Wait, shit, where'd it go? 7, 9, 8, 8, 11, and 14. With re-rolling the worst one.
So,
Yeah.
Wes, are you still Dwarvish?
Yes.
And you're human?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a rather charming human, if I say so. I made my primary stat charisma.
Oh. Okay, I see. Brain is starting to understand things.
It took me a moment. I actually have, I remember playing a lot of D&D that used a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, I had a little bit of experience. I'd taken the time to read things beforehand too, like a DM's pet. I'm not bringing apples or nothing.
I was on vacation until like 2 days ago, so.
Oh, I'm not trying to dog you in any kind of way.
Shit. I kept seeing all these notifications pop up. I had to mute them. I'm like, I have no time for this stuff right now.
Right.
Oh, I feel that. But yeah, now I think I'm playable.
Okay.
I've purchased items.
Just a moment. I'm making tokens. So with the tokens, this will be done a little bit differently than we've done in the past. You'll all have tokens, definitely, but that is mostly going to be for initiative. I'm going to use one token that I've just called the Heroes of Braunhaven to show where you are at in a dungeon. And the reason for doing that is to get away from the general feel of playing chess like we've done in the past. I want to get more into role play than we have in the past, rather than worrying about where you are on the board. Dwarvish.
Yeah, the joke on my name is it's spelled out not like a dwarf, but it pronounced kind of like a dwarvish. So if I get famous or something, like instead of the Barbaressa's trade bridge. That might be the dwarvish trade bridge. And
Right.
People will think dwarves built it, but that's not what happened. I stole it from the dwarves and claimed it as my own.
Okay, there's that token. What kind of weapon are you using, Brian? You don't know yet?
I was still 2 seconds ago. I was still trying to figure out what modifiers were. Remember?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Are you gonna go with? You think you're gonna go with a sword or an axe? I mean, you're a half orc, so
I'll go with an axe. It sounds orcish.
okay.
Where's the equipment page?
It is. Hold on, and I will tell you.
I used Control F like a ton.
Yeah.
I was doing those. It helped.
The table of contents on page 2 is pretty good too, but it is on page weapons and armor on page 90. So battle axes are two-handed. Hand axe is one-handed. Something to keep in mind if you want to use a shield.
Sure.
So hand axe would be your best bet. Ew, that's
Go sword. Unless
And-
you want to throw it.
Have you come up with a name?
I'm just gonna say sword.
Should be near the bottom. Because it does die 8. Unless you want to be able to throw it.
There is bastard swords in the game as well. Those are found in Old School Armory, which is.
But you'll lose your father.
Bastard swords, one-handed, do 1d6 plus 1 damage, and 1d8 plus 1 damage base if you're using it two-handed. Brian, have you come up with a name at all?
Tree Badospar.
How do you spell that?
I'll put it in the.
Okay. Yeah, type that in. I'm coming up with your character portrait and a token for you.
For sure. I'll change it on the thing.
Yeah, I was really excited when I found out that Old School Armory had bastard swords because that was my favorite weapon from the old games.
Can we assume that I'm able to find suitable pebbles to use my sling, or do I need to actually purchase bullets?
They don't
said
have
it's-
bullets.
They don't cost anything, so yeah, you must be able to just find them.
I would guess.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can just pick them up off the ground. Let's see.
Thank you. Yeah, I was rather strapped for cash.
Yeah, I spent all my money on one character, and then the other one has like 20 something left.
Oh, sling stones are free.
Then great. That is a great economy-sized weapon for a guy that had to buy thieves' tools.
Brian, did you type in that
Armor.
name?
Thieves'
Yeah.
tools.
You're not
Some
sure?
minor adventuring stuff.
It showed on my name. Do I need to refresh?
Yeah, it seems like Dentry.
Oh, sorry. I'm still not seeing. Did you type it in the
Put it as his display name. Is what.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking in the chat window. Where was it?
Change it to my display name because I feel like that's what.
That's probably the best place to put. Yes. Okay.
So in line with my shitty rolling, I have 60 gold to start with, I think.
Yeah.
So I can buy a sword and some chainmail, I guess.
Chainmail would be good. Damn it.
How do I know if my character can carry that much weight?
We're using basic encumbrance. So you're with chainmail. Let's see here. Chainmail, your movement rate. That chainmail counts as heavy armor. So your movement rate is 60 feet, and then in parentheses it's 20 feet.
60, 20. Yeah, okay.
Not what I did. Not what I wanted. Like, at all. Try that again. Alright, that's better. Okay, and one more. And Gabe is playing a dwarf. What kind of weapon are you using, Gabe?
Sword.
Okay.
All you guys with your big ass weapons.
are
Think you're trying to overcompensate.
you getting
Yes.
are you getting knife envy?
I've got daggers and a sling. I did buy a 10-foot pole and some rope.
And what's your character name?
Me?
Yeah.
Umroth.
Umroth?
Yep.
Cassandra's got the easiest name to pronounce.
Right?
Yeah. But I guess like Braunhaven is a town, and that's just where we all live? Is that how this
So-
begins?
Yeah, hold on, we'll get into that too.
I'm known for my patience. Well, some of them are burn victims, and other patients have mental problems. Is that Gabriel's dude?
Using those modifiers at the top of the little
Yes.
thing, right? Where we are.
And,
Kind of looks like Chris in the morning.
I know, right?
and you're a fighter type? Is that what you are, Gabriel? Umroth?
Yeah, dwarf. I made a dwarf.
Okay, so you two are the front line, smash them and stuff, and Cassandra's the healer, and I observe and record things.
Okay, so yes, your character's main duty is to sing the songs. If there's ever a time of starvation, they can eat the minstrels, and then of course bravely running away.
Yeah. Well,
So,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I am rather lean, and so if you guys do have to eat me, make sure I enjoy it.
So we already went over the creation of the world and how the gods came to be. The gods, about what was it? About roughly 195 years ago, there was a great plague swept through the land, and nobody knows really where this. I mean, I know where it came from, but nobody knows really where it came from, and it was known as the Demon Plague, and it literally wiped out 2/3 of the population. And this is the Glaustian Empire. Specifically, you are in the area of the Braunhaven region. You've all pretty much grown up in this region, except for Umroth, who is from the Skellis Mountains. And let me zoom in. And I'll probably butcher this name. Oh no, this one's easy to say. In the Skellis Mountains, the dwarven, I guess, capital city of the dwarven empire is Zalatoheim, and so that's where Gabe's Umroth is from. But the rest of you grew up in the Braunhaven region, and the Braunhaven region was called the Braunhaven region because there was a family, the Braun family, that built a coaching inn, and this coaching inn, the Braunhaus coaching inn, was right on the crux of the Eastern Tradeway, which goes all the way east to the far-off land of Erebachia. It travels through, savanna-type plains, a swampy marsh, and then it eventually ends up into the deserts of Erebachia. And it was on this tradeway and the Imperial Tradeway, which was built to go from the capital city of Glosshine all the way south to the Imperial port at Tassadantalus's Tower. So this made a great spot for them to obviously make money. I mean, that's like a Girl Scout setting up her table to sell cookies outside a pot shop. They made a ton of money, and the Braun family became very, very rich. And around the coaching inn, a small town started to build up, and they named it Braunhaven. The emperor of the Glaustian Empire was so impressed with the Braun family and how well they were taking care of the trade caravans that he awarded them a title of nobility. And they were basically considered a duke. He was a duke of the Braun region, and they built Castle Braun. Now, like I said, this was about 300 years ago that this happened. That quickly changed. So as about, like I said, 195 years ago, the demon plague came through and wiped out 2/3 of the population. And towards the end of the demon plague, there was a new emperor crowned in Glossshine, Emperor Belusian Cestus. And Emperor Cestus is pretty much a known dickbag. He removed all titles of nobility, keeping the absolute rule for himself. And at that time, the Duchess Gilda Braun of Castle Braun wasn't going to put up with his shit, and she and her 3 sons rose up and led a rebellion against Emperor Cestus. And he, being the emperor and having much more manpower than the loss of 2/3 of the population of Braunhaven, basically killed everybody involved with that rebellion, going so far as to draw and quarter the Duchess and her 3 sons. And basically, Castle Braun has fallen into ruin in the last 200 years. It sits empty. It is said that it is haunted. A lot of bandits and brigands have attempted to use Castle Braun as a basis for their camps. Most of the time, they end up running away in fear for their lives due to strange happenings. There was a arch wizard. Now there. Oh, that's something I forgot. Each of you can roll a d6. We'll see if any of you get this.
3.
3.
Umroth got a 1. Okay, so Umroth. Here, let me go to religion. If you choose Umroth, you have your choice. If you would like, you can be either considered a where is it? Avatars, demigods. You can be an avatar or you can be a demigod. So demigods, you get to add +2 to your choice of either strength, dex, or constitution. If you're an avatar, you get to add 1 to every ability score.
Be the first one.
Okay, so you can add +2 to your choice of either strength, dex, or con. Demigod characters also automatically gain specialization in 1 weapon of your choice. So if you wanted to be specialized in swords, you can add a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with swords.
Yep.
And you are on a divine quest. Your divine quest is to essentially get information to find out what happened to Tassadantilus. And your character also ages at half the rate of normal dwarves. Oh, that was one other thing I forgot. Brian, you're a fighter, correct?
I am.
You get a combat talent, because we're not going... Oh, and everybody... Yeah, we forgot a couple of things. So, first of all, let me do Brian's combat talent. One. Combat talent. So, in Carcass Crawler Issue 1, on page... Why can I not see this? No, that's not what I want, damn it. On page 28 of Carcass Crawler Issue 1. There are combat talents. You get a new talent at first. You get a talent at 1st, 5th, and 10th levels. Your options are Cleave, Defender, Leader, Main Gauche, or Gauche, Slayer, or Weapon Specialist.
All right, look at them real quick. Text the phone makes a character
While you're doing that, I will be right back.
Gosh, when fighting with the no scenarios or retainers under the fighter's command, winning melee with two foes. If the fighter strikes a throw, that's not good.
Okay, I'm back. Did you pick one?
I will throw this out to the group as a question of playstyle so that I know which one to choose. Whether I should go with weapons specialist to get a little bit more hittiness and damageness, or defender to kind of help you guys and be able to help you guys out.
And it's really, what kind of fighter do you want to be? I mean,
So essentially,
you know,
I mean, defender can be really helpful because that means that if you guys are in a fight and they attack anybody other than Brian, they're at -2 or anything.
yeah. I mean, that's.
All right, Gabe, are you
know
planning
what?
to be more like crush them all, or are you trying to be more defender-y, attacky?
Well, I'm not going to get specializations.
Right.
So,
He doesn't get the combat talents. That's only for fighters.
Yeah.
In terms of
So
how you want to play
I'll-
your character.
I'll be probably more straightforward. I have plate mail, so I have a really low armor class.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
take the defender.
So I can get right up in their face and they hopefully can't hit me as much.
I like you being up in their face too.
And if
Every
I take
part of me
defender,
thinks
I'll
that's
shoot
wonderful.
more because then they're that much less likely to hit you, right?
Say what now?
If I take defender, that means they're also at a -2, which makes it even that much harder for them to hit you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do defender.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say because we never played, but that defender sounds pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to be keeping squishies alive.
So the other thing is, find it
Where
here.
do I put that? Should I just put that in like abilities?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Should I just put that in like abilities?
Yeah, you could put that under abilities or wherever you can put down notes.
Okay.
The other thing is on page 25 of the player's tome, you guys can roll percentage and you can pick a secondary skill.
Everybody or just Gabe?
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay.
Is it page 25? I have too many fucking things up.
So you got Chandler with a 25.
And I
I'm
am
not in the
brewer.
table. I'm on page 25. Wait,
Of the
I
players
messed up.
of the player's tome? Secondary
Basic.
skills?
I'm on basic rules. Okay, let me find the thing.
The Advanced Fantasy Player's Tome.
I got brewer.
Sweet.
I got butcher.
Well, it sounds like you guys are gonna have a barbecue.
We sure are.
Oh, damn. Okay, let's see. 25.
2 skills.
Yep, that means you get to roll twice.
Oh, so now I roll again 2 more times.
Correct.
Oh.
I got rolled for 2 skills also.
Nice.
Okay.
Wait, you rolled 100 as well? Awesome.
I rolled a 99, so.
Ah, the only other possible one you did.
Yeah, this is like the only time you want to roll 100.
Yeah. 54.
If the thief is doing thief skills and he rolls 100, he's boned.
Says I'm a furry. No, it says furrier.
Yeah, a furrier, that means you kill furries and take their fursuits.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Everything is lining up with my character, with the secondary skill, and as I obviously have come up around the tavern. There's no way to get around that.
So secondary skills are things that you probably learned from your parents growing up. So in Cassandra's case, her character, her parents were probably furriers and something else because she got 2 skills.
That baker is the second one. So I guess they bake meat pies or something.
Yeah, mom baked pies and dad was a furrier. Dad was a furry.
Mom had hair pie? What?
Yes. There's a furry hair in my pie.
Just
What is Bowyer? Or Fletcher?
A Fletcher
Means
makes
you can make-
makes arrows.
Yeah.
and a bowyer makes bows.
Correct.
Yeah, both very handy to. Well, you've got party members that couldn't afford a bow.
Right. You could make one.
I can make a bow?
Yes. And arrows. Now, of course, these are generally skills that are going to be used for downtime activity in between adventures or around the campfire, things of that nature. But yeah.
And I'm an armorer, so I make armor?
Yes.
I make armor
If you have access to a forge and the correct tools, yeah, you can make armor.
That's cool.
So, there was an archmage named Tassadantlus, and Tassadantlus was also an avatar of the known gods, or born an avatar of the known gods. So he's essentially immortal, and he, being an archmage, he was a genius. Essentially, he learned to read magic at like the age of 5, and basically is the most well-known wizard in all of the Braunhaven region, if not the entire Glossian Empire, and he's well-known beyond as well. And he saw the writing on the wall. This was before Emperor Belusian Cestus took power. He decided that if the Glossian Empire was going to be a major player in the game of politics, that they needed to get involved in trade, and thus the Imperial Tradeway was built, and he built his Mage's Tower far to the south on the coastline, and around that tower he built the Imperial Port. And it is said that his tower was built overnight, and that the Imperial Port, using magic as well, took less than a week to build. And the Imperial Port is huge. It is way larger, in fact, than the Glossian Empire. They could dock multiple huge galleons, and they did a lot of trade far to the south. South and west, there is another nation across the Dragon Sea known as Orentis. The Orentis is really known, that you guys would know, fine china, silks, things of that nature, but the most thing that they're known for is the kineticist. The kineticists are a warrior monk that is known to come from Orentis. And Orentians, a lot of times, people from the Glossian Empire can confuse Orentians with elves. Speaking of elves, there is the elven capital city in the Sylvanas Forest. Oh boy, this one. It's my own fault for using Ukrainian words. Dwaldalek is the capital city of the High Elves in the Sylvanas Forest. At one point, there was a small minor war between the humans of Braunhaven and the elves of the Sylvanas Forest because the humans had gone too deeply into the forest and were basically cutting down every tree that they could find. And the elves got pissed off, and there was a minor skirmish between the elves and the humans. It was eventually the Braun family negotiated a peace treaty. The elves agreed that, obviously the humans need wood for building and things of that nature, and they say, you can harvest trees from the Sylvanas Forest along the edge, but don't go too deeply, or else, your family will never see you again. That is the capital city, the High Elves. They're kind of the de facto rulers of the elves. These other smaller forests or smaller glades and forests around the region are home to a nomadic type of elf, the wood elves. And then there is a third type of elf, the phase elves. And the phase elves are generally from the Fey realm. Now, the Braunhaven region, I guess you could say, kind of suffers from a thin veil between two other planes. There's the Fey realm that things have crossed over from the Fey realm into the Prime plane, and there has been a cross-pollination of plants and creatures. One such creature is the fairy cat. They are small feline creatures with high intelligence. They also have gossamer wings that they usually keep folded back underneath their thick fur on their back. They are sought after highly by magic users as familiars. There are other creatures that aren't quite so cute and nice that have crossed over as well, such as fey hags and shrivelkin and things of that nature that are generally bad. The other realm is the Shadow Realm, which it is said that when you die, the first place you go is the Shadow Realm. And the Shadow Realm closely matches the Prime Plane. It's like a mirror image of the Prime Plane, but everything is very dark there. And nobody knows how long it is that you stay there before you go to heaven or hell. That time doesn't really function very well, but a lot of things have crossed over from there too. One such thing is a vampire has crossed over. A couple of vampires, as a matter of fact, have crossed over. Shades and wraiths and things of that nature sometimes cross over. And the veils between these two realms, of course, they get thinner during the equinox and the solstices. There are certain times of year that they get thinner, and there's more cross-pollination between these planes. But they have actually physically changed the Prime Plane with things that have come through. This is a map of your direct area with the Skellis Mountains. Now, the Barbarous Trade Bridge, nobody knows who actually built it. They know that the road on the western side of the Trade Bridge is actually was built by the Dwarven Kingdom of Zolotaheim, and it is a marvel of engineering. The dwarves actually took marble and carved them into cobblestones to pave their road. And so this road is nigh indestructible, and it goes all the way through the mountains to Zolotaheim. It kind of meanders its way through the Skellis Mountains. On the west side of the Great River, in the base hills of the Skelos Mountains, there is a tribe of orcs that have caused a lot of problems for the region. The Rock Skull Orc tribe. They basically raid the trade caravans that head across the Barbarous Trade Bridge, things of that nature. But they have been known to go across the river entirely in canoes to attack farmsteads and whatnot. And unfortunately, the Rockskull Orcs, they don't just steal goods and money, they steal people sometimes and enslave them. Other times they steal a woman's virtue, and that's probably where Dentry came from. There are a lot of half-orcs. Half-orcs are generally usually shunned by the human populace until they get to know you. Most half-orcs are also shunned by the orc tribes because they don't like half-breeds. And so a lot of times the half-orcs end up becoming brigands or bandits that are operating in the region because, you know, fuck people. And if they're not going to treat us well, then we will steal everything we can from them. So the bulk of you have grown up probably in farmsteads. There's numerous farmsteads around in this region. And you have all come together in the town of Braunhaven, this cozy little town, to essentially you've decided that for one reason or another you've decided to all take up the most dangerous profession known to man and become adventurers, because that's where the real money comes from, right? Being a hero and raiding tombs is where the cash flow is. And this is the Braunhaus Coaching Inn. Actually, I can go through and tell you what each of these buildings are. That's the Braunhaus. This is the Imperial Tradeway. This is the All Faiths Temple. It is basically a church that caters to all of the both the old gods and the 12 elder gods. This is their town hall. There is a armor and a weapon shop here. This is an open market, and there is an apothecary, herbalist. There's a lot of open housing here because obviously after the demon plague, there's just a lot of real estate available because those people are dead. And so the town is slowly kind of drawing more people to it again. And the good part about that is that all they have to do is fix up the housing that's there, because they don't have to build new stuff because it's already in place. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Screwed that up. There. And so you are in the Braunhaus Coaching Inn. I will drop. Can you guys see this map? Or is it all dark?
It says it's all dark. It says we have detected that you may be using an unsupported system. Blah blah blah.
My thing is just black. That's all it says.
Okay. I was worried about that. I can fix that. Now can you see it?
Yes, it
Okay.
looks like a little inn, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe a tavern more.
And so this is the Braunhaus Coaching Inn. These stairs over here actually go to a second level where the guest rooms are. On the third floor is where the halfling family, the Cracker Bottoms, live. And the tavern, the Braunhaus, is actually owned by Tekka Cracker Bottom. And her grandpa, he tends to putter around the place, fixing the place up. And Granny Crackerbottom works in the kitchen. And Tekka is known, the Braunhaus specifically is known for its delicious. She's won awards for her smoked cheeses, and the Braunhaus is actually known for a 5-cheese fondue that they make, and they also have their own ales that they brew and things of that nature. And so you guys have just shown up. You come in. It's late in the evening, and you are given. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to read this, but this is the Braunhaus menu. So there is a, under supplies at the bottom, you'll see that there is a thing called Shire Smoke. It's a 1-ounce pouch. So the halflings of the region, far to the east in Erebachia, they are known for their fine tobaccos. Well, the halflings bought seeds, planted them, and was able to get them to grow in the Braunhaven region. And the other thing that the halflings like is, of course, pipeweed. And so they decided that they would make something called Shire Smoke, and it's basically a 50-50 mix of this fine pipe tobacco and pipeweed mixed together and kind of given a top note of like a vanilla scent, and it's got chocolatey undertones, and they sell it in 1-ounce pouches for 2 drachpence, which is 2 copper. The different names of the piece of the money is, I should know this off the top of my head since I created it, right? Here we are. There is the drachpence, which is your standard copper piece. The facial, which is your silver piece. The Ellsworth is an electrum piece. It's fairly rare in Braunhaven. The dwarves are actually the ones who have created the Ellsworth. It's used fairly common up there. 2 gold is worth 1 Ellsworth. There's the cestus piece, which is the gold piece. It is stamped with the image of Emperor Belusian Cestus. The cestus piece is the standard coin of the Glossian Empire. The Empire claims that they guarantee that each cestus piece is 99% pure gold. Nobody bothers really to attempt to question whether that's true or not, because if you question it, you're arrested for forgery. And then there is the trade coin, which is the platinum piece, and it is a coin made of platinum with a stamped gold center. And usually the platinum pieces, the reason that's why it's called a trade coin is that the platinum piece is generally used by trade caravans and that of that nature, because one coin is worth 10 gold or 5 gold. It's worth 5 gold. So they use platinum pieces because they're doing a much larger purchasing, and it's just easier to carry less coins. So yeah, there's Shire Smoke. Zolotoheim makes a nice 50-year aged whiskey. 50-year for the dwarves is like bottom shelf. There is the sparkling wine made by the elves. There's gnomish brandy. All manner of good stuff on the menu. So you guys traveled from your various farms. You kind of met up on the road. And you have all congregated into the Braunhaus. You can spend whatever you'd like to get something to eat. You can spend as much as you like or as little as you like. It's up to you.
What was the face shield equal to?
It's 1 silver piece. So 1 silver is, let's see here. There are 10 silver to 1 gold piece.
Are there other people just here and about?
Yeah, there are numerous people. The general way of operating in the town is that at night, at the end of the workday, they all kind of show up in. They go to the tavern to get their food, smoke some Shire Smoke to relax for the evening, drink some beer, and so there are other people in the tavern.
I'd like to just try to sing and, sing for a turn and see if I can get a few of them to take kindly to me and buy me things.
Okay. So I assume you're going to want to be over by the fireplace.
Of course. With my poor broke ass, I have a handcrafted flute.
Yes. So you start to go over to the fireplace and sing a little or play a little flute song and some Yaz flute. And
Yeah.
what are the rest of you doing?
I am listening to what other people are talking about. See if I
That-
can hear anything interesting.
That is a very good idea. What about Dentry and Umroth?
I assume that I'm going to be chilling in the corner as a half orc, not much accepted by people.
Well,
Wait, we grew up around here, so as long as you're not horrible, they're probably
that's
here, I guess.
yeah, that's pretty much true.
Or if he wants, he can be my traveling companion.
Yeah,
So I figure I'm probably a bit of an outcast myself. People on a mission are usually a little odd.
that's true. You're on a mission from Gad.
From Gad, getting the band back together.
Well, you're part way there. You already got a bard.
I'm your bouncer then. I'm like,
So, yeah, I mean, you could be the traveling companion. Dentry, go ahead and make a roll a 20. You're going to make a charisma ability check. So you want to roll under your charisma, and you can subtract your charisma modifier, which you may not have. Maybe you're adding your charisma. I don't know what your charisma stat is.
That's Dentry.
Yes.
Is that okay?
So we'll see what if you roll your d20 and then subtract your charisma modifier and you roll under your charisma. We'll see how well the people are taking to your half orcness. And Dorvish, you can go ahead and do the same thing for your Yaz flute.
Okay.
I'm assuming rolling a 20 is bad.
Yes.
Did you get a nat 20?
You did.
Oh. So you come in. So Dentry, you come in to the tavern with Umroth, and everybody in there is giving you the side eye. If looks could kill, you'd be dead on the spot.
Figured. And with that, I walk myself to the corner.
You can move yourself to wherever corner you want to go to.
I got a 0.
I'm not. Knowing that they don't like me, I want to separate myself from Umroth just so they don't associate me with him.
No,
Until I
you
meet-
sit with me. I don't care.
I got the equivalent of a 0.
Okay,
So I'm up there jamming. I'm like, oh, the dragon's balls were blazing. As I stepped into his cave, I sliced his fucking cockles with a long and shiny blade. 'Tis I who fucked the dragon, fucked the fog and fuckaloo. And if you try to fuck with me, then I will fuck you too.
That's actually pretty good. So you make 54 silver pieces.
Beautiful.
Jesus.
And I need to keep a track of that.
I'm gonna put it on my character sheet. What the hell I'm gonna do?
So 54 silver pieces. That's not what I want to do.
Hopefully people are buying me smoke and drink and food too.
Yes, they will buy your your meal, whatever you want to eat is on the house.
Yes. That's
And
right.
drinks, I mean, you're so good that they will pay for your party if that's what you would like.
Oh hell yes! If these are my traveling companions, then of course they're with me. And and if I've gotten favor with the crowd, I'll be like, don't cut your eyes side there at Umroth. He's a good lad. Yeah, he's with me. Don't don't hate on the poor guy.
Cassandra, roll D100. Oh, I'm sorry, not D100. Roll a D10.
All right, 1 second. I'll find one. 8.
Okay. So all of you learn a number of rumors. The first rumor that you hear is that so Dentry and Umroth, you hear some people talking in the inn about evidently Tekka has an issue, that there's something mucking about in her basement, and she is told. I mean, she's a halfling, so you have to keep in mind. She's been saying that there's something large crawling around in her basement, and it's getting to the point where that she's getting fearful to go down into the basement because of whatever it is that's down there. And there's rumors that she's heard things moving about, like banging and the clawing on the stonework and things of that nature. And it's almost getting to the point where she is getting fearful to go downstairs to fetch fresh kegs of beer and ale, and that's also where her cheese cave is. And so a lot of the patrons are like, we might be coming into the Braunhaven one night, and there won't be any fondue or cheese because she's afraid to go down there. Boy, we sure wish somebody would do something about that. The other rumor that you guys hear is that late at night, so the All Faiths Temple is run by a druid, of all things, name that people they refer to him as Father Ainsworth, and usually Father Ainsworth comes into the tavern later in the evening to get his meal, and then he tends to retire early and go to bed. But people are saying that late at night, midnight, 1 in the morning, they're seeing lights move about in the temple windows, like somebody's moving about in there, and nobody knows what it is. So people are kind of fearful of that, and they know that it can't be Father Ainsworth. He's already gone to bed. It's well known that the old man goes to bed early. He also tends to go to dinner at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the other rumor that you have heard, that there was a trade caravan that was ambushed on the road just on the west side of the Barbarous Trade Bridge, and everybody believes that it was probably the Rockskull Orc tribe, or a group of Rockskull Orcs have assaulted this caravan, and nobody's heard from them for some time. But a fellow trader that was coming back this way passed a trade caravan that everybody was murdered, and it looked like the carts had been turned over and looted, and he hurried out of the area because he didn't want the same thing to happen to his carts. And so people are wishing that something would be done about that. But Cassandra hears that the Imperial Tax Assessor, the current tax assessor, is named Nestor Falcius. And the rumor going around the inn, this guy is just a ruthless piece of shit. The current tax rate is like 60%. People barely have enough to feed themselves. The empire is just taxing them into poverty. And it doesn't help that Nestor Falcius and his fellow tax assessors come along, and they have their hand out too. And so they expect a little bonus, a couple gold pieces per farmstead, that goes directly into their pocket for the benefit of them taxing you. And there is a rumor going about that that if you don't pay the bribe, or if you can't pay your taxes, that Nestor Falcius will kill you and raise you from the dead and take your service out as a undead servant. And the rumor going around town is not only that he is a necromancer, but that he himself is a white.
Wow.
And
I'll have to pass that along to my friends.
Well, sounds to me like we should stay inside at night.
yeah.
We could lounge about, but interrupting the food and drink supply is not really anything I'd see.
I think we can handle the cheese cave mission. That's what I think.
So about that
I
time,
think, yeah.
about
I
that
think
time,
I
you
could
see
watch.
you hear the basement door open and slam shut, and Tekka comes up the stairs, and she is cursing quite loudly, and she is like, she's sweating, she's pale, she apparently something down there scared her little halfling shitless.
Well,
Can I ask her what it is? What happened?
She says, well, you know, there's something down there. I don't know. It's much too big to be rats. I'm not sure what's down there, but something's gotten into me basement, and it's terrifying. It's got glowing eyes in the darkness, and it gnashes its teeth, and it's big, like the size of a Doberman.
Ooh. Well, I'll see if my friends want to help me try and take care of it, because I love the cheese chips here, and I don't want the supply to run out.
Yeah, everybody loves the cheese. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So she says, if you and your friends were able to help me deal with whatever's in me basement, I would be willing to pay you. Well, I don't have a whole lot to pay you with, but you would be welcome at the inn, and you'd be given free rooms and as much as food as you can eat for as long as you live.
Wow, that is a good deal, friends. I can't do anything because I suck at fighting and fence, but I'll cheer you on as you descend into the.
So
I will bravely hold the torch.
There you go. We
As
all have
we
the
go
job.
down.
I'm on board. We should do this.
Did Cassandra get a blunt weapon like a mace or a club or something?
I have a dagger and a shield and armor.
I don't think you can use a dagger, actually.
Clerics
Oh
are blade.
shit! Really? Not even to like open my mail or something?
No, clerics can only use blunt weapons, so you could use a club
Okay, I need
mace.
something that costs
or a
the
mace.
same what I spent. Maybe I need to go look at the monies.
Oh,
basically.
clubs are cheap.
Yeah, clubs are
Okay.
cheap.
All
It's a
right.
stick of wood.
yeah,
So
let's-
I stand up and just wipe my mouth and gather my stuff, and I say, "Come on, Dentry, we're gonna go make you a hero. Can't have rats shitting in my food."
All right.
I will light up a torch and hold it up.
That is a very good idea. So, here is how time works. It's a little different than in 5th edition D&D. If you remember, a round or actually one turn in 5th edition D&D was 6 seconds. That's not, they count it by the round, and we don't go, I mean, I suppose you could subdivide it, but there's really no need. One round is 10 seconds. There is a turn, not to be confused with your turn. A turn is 10 minutes. And so a torch will burn for 4 hours. And I have 4 turns, right. Or, no, 4 turns would only be 40 minutes. So take 60 times 4, and that's yeah. So, and I've got a little chart here that I can that'll
Keep track of that?
Yes, it'll keep track of that.
I fully support
1,
you keeping
2,
track of
3,
that.
4, 5, 6. Actually, that's a little weird. This says that a torch only lasts an hour.
Well, that's 6 turns.
Oh wait, no. 1 turn is 6 boxes. I gotcha. Okay, no, that's right. So now 6 boxes equals 1 hour. So yeah, a torch will burn for 1 hour. So you get a torch ready, and you guys move down into the basement.
I have a torch in my offhand and my dagger in my main hand.
So let me
I will
guess.
bravely stand behind.
This is black as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So much for dynamic lighting. But I can. And actually, what I will do. There's Fog of War. Now the whole screen should be black.
Yes. Yes, we've all forgotten what we just saw for that second.
Yes. Reveal
That
area.
intense matter study.
Okay, and you guys are down here. So the way I'm doing this is I'm just going to drop the heroes token on the map. There are the heroes.
Okay.
And then if you guys decide to do something truly heroic, like splitting the party, I will go ahead and I can use your individual tokens at that time. But we'll do group initiative, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. So you guys come down into the basement. Let me pull up my basement. This is their cellar. It is the first thing that you notice is that you can see your breath down here. It's several degrees colder, and this is, I mean, it is winter time. Oh, that was the other rumor that you heard, is that a lot of the townsfolk are worried about their Christmas season. It is winter, and their Christmas season on here, page 14 of my own book. So they have the Festival of Giving, and it is the month of Decus. And they're worried about the Festival of Giving, so generally every year during the solstice of the Festival of Giving, which lasts the entire month, they basically just eat and drink themselves into a stupor for an entire month. And they are worried about the solstice because generally every year Saint Baldwin, who is a dwarf, comes down from the Skellis Mountains. He has his workshop up there, on a sled that flies, that is pulled by 15 magical guinea pigs, and he comes down and gives gifts to everybody in the Braunhaven region. But they are worried this year because there is a rumor that he won't be arriving this year because he has been kidnapped by a evil troll named the Bumpus. So that's another rumor that you have heard. But you come down in here and you notice that when you step down into the cellar, you can see your breath at several degrees colder. The floor is made of cobblestones, and there is an 8-foot tall ceiling, and it is very dark. So your torches, there are 2 actual torches lit down here, but it is throwing off shadows in various areas. And I need to roll a d6.
Does that vision thing that we have work here?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The infravision thing?
Yes, infravision does work. So you, with your infravision, you do indeed see something.
Yeah, and I would like to attempt to hear noises. Listen.
Yeah, so you do hear some noises. You hear like the squeaking and the skittering sound of claws on the cobblestones, and what you see is that there are 3 giant rats that have come up down here. And at the back of the cavern here, you see that there is the actual cobblestone of the wall has been cut through, like somebody used pickaxes to chop through the wall, and that there is a hole in the wall that descends down. But first, we need to deal with the rats. So, here is how combat works. It's a little bit different. There we go. So every round, you get to roll initiative. And so if you did shitty this round and you're going last, you don't have to worry about having to go last next round because you're going to get to do it again anyways. And the way initiative works is you guys will pick one person who will roll a d6. I will roll a d6, and the higher of the rolls is the one that goes first. The rats are getting a whole terrifying 1. Now, before you roll initiative, you have to tell me what it is that you want to do. And, you know, yeah, no, this is fine. So, Cassandra, what is it that you plan to do? And the reason for announcing before you roll initiative is because if you're casting a spell, for instance, that spell can be interrupted. If you get hit, your spell is automatically interrupted. You also cannot move while casting spells. Not that any of you can cast spells yet, but this is something to keep in mind. So, Cassandra, what is it that you would like to do?
I am going to crouch down and bust out my shield and, like, repel them so somebody with a better strength can stab them without them, like, skittering around.
Okay, so you're basically taking up a defensive stance and trying to block them. Okay. What is Dorvish going to do?
Dorvish is going to throw a dagger.
Okay. What is Dentry going to do?
And sing.
Entry will prepare to attack.
You're going to attack the rats?
I mean, I'll stay with the party, but if any of them come close, then I will attack.
Okay. And what is Umroth going to do?
We're going to try and stab him with a sword and shield.
Good plan. So, who among you wants to roll the d6?
Not me.
I don't know if you guys realize, but I've been rolling horribly, so you don't want me to.
Well, I mean, you can't do worse than the rats.
There we go.
Dwarvish is good.
3. All right.
I won, so here we go.
So, Cassandra, you are blocking Dorvish. You can go ahead and you can throw your dagger. So it would be a d20 roll plus, or excuse me, subtract your dex modifier from that, and to see if you hit.
And I get to subtract my dex modifier from this?
Correct.
Does it
That'll
use
be
their armor class?
Does he what?
Does it use their armor class?
Yeah. Well, he's one. Well, we got to see what he rolls first. So.
I rolled a 12.
Let's see here. You
with my
hit.
Thaco.
You
Nice.
hit. So, actually, though, I do have a question. Let's see here. Damage.
Be gone, you foul, fiendish beast. Go back to your little hole in the wall. It's a D4 is what my dagger does. I know that.
Right, but what I'm trying to figure out is if you add your dex mod to it. I don't think you do.
1.
I would think you had your dex for a missile weapon.
Yeah, you just got to throw out your old school thinking and actually look it up, I guess. But
I guess it just does the variable damage by the weapon type. But you get to add, you get to add your dex or your strength for ranged or melee weapons, but it doesn't add to your damage. I don't think it doesn't say that.
okay, well that's 1 point of damage to rat A.
Okay. So one of the rats has a dagger sticking in him, which is rather unhealthy for rats because it's not like they're only half hit dice creatures. So
It was a warning shot.
Dentry, what would you like to do? Are you going to stay with the group? The rats haven't moved yet, but one of them has a dagger sticking out of its forehead.
this work?
Entry.
Can you hear me?
Very quietly.
That was weird. Can you hear me better now?
I can.
Okay. So like I saw, like we're heroes. Is it like rats? Is like multiple rats, or is that like just like one rat?
There's 3
target?
rats.
I'm not sure.
There's 3 rats.
Okay, 3 rats. Okay. I would like to like move closer, but at the same time, I'm very wary of how combat works since I've never done it before. So,
Well, you would just run
you made
up
it very clear, dying is a thing.
so you're using an axe, is that right?
No, I have a sword,
Oh, sword.
and then whatever the hell my armor was, I forgot.
Okay, so you could move up. You can move up your 20 feet, and that would engage you with the rats, and you can swing your sword. So you would roll a d20, subtract your strength, and then tell me what you rolled.
All right, D20 minus my strength modifier. Where the hell did you go? I rolled a 7. My modifier is +2, so that's 5, I guess.
I'm sorry, what'd you get?
I rolled a 7, and then I have a strength modifier of 2, so is that 5?
Yes. So that is a myth. Or no, you would add. It would be. You want to roll high. So it would be if you rolled a 7 plus 2 for your strength modifier, you got a 9. But that is still a miss.
Okay, I was like, sometimes we add, sometimes we subtract.
Yeah, sometimes you add, sometimes you subtract. Yeah. Umroth, you are moving up and you want to swing. Are you going to attack the rat that already has a dagger in it, or are you going to attack another rat?
I'll attack the one that's got a dagger in it.
Okay. Yeah, dead enemies.
Or whichever one's closer, actually. But
they're all they're grouped up. So, and they, like I said, they haven't moved yet. So.
Okay. I rolled a 3. I rolled a 1. So I missed.
Shit. Our first natural 1. Congrats. And the award goes to Gabriel. Natural 1 just means an automatic miss. You whiff it pretty bad. You kind of look cool doing it. I mean, you used a lot of flourish on that, but no real gain. The rat with the dagger in its head is going to attack Umroth. That's the wrong dice. 17. What is your AC?
2.
That does indeed hit. For 1 point of damage. And I'll let you roll a d20. You have a 1 in 20 chance of being infected with a disease.
13.
Okay, so you're not infected. The second rat is going to run up on Cassandra and attempt to attack her. Oof.
Can I attack? Since I have that defender thing, I just want to make sure that...
Oh, that's right. That's actually maybe Gabe didn't get hit. I forgot about your -2. So no, I'm sorry. Umroth, you didn't take 1 point of damage. He would have missed with his -2.
All right.
And so he got a 16. What is Cassandra's AC?
With the shield, it's 6.
So they do hit you.
Aw, lame.
Ooh, 3 points of damage.
Okey-doke.
And you need to roll a d20. 1 in 20 chance of catching the hantavirus.
Got 10.
Okay, so no worries there. The last rat's going to attack Dentry. -2, or no, he doesn't have a -2 because he's attacking Dentry. Let's see what he got. A 10. What's Dentry's AC?
Five.
He misses. We are back to our heroes. Let me roll a d6 for the rat. Ooh. Cassandra, what are you going to do this round? You could, well, I mean, you got a rat right up in your face, so you can bash the rat with your club.
That's true. I wondered if it was how big are the rats really? Are they as big as Dobermans, like what's her face said, or not really?
They are. I will tell you. Let me find my rats. Giant rats are 3 feet long or possibly larger. So.
That's pretty big. Okay, I was thinking if it was smaller, I might be able to like squish it, like fall on my shield and like.
Oh yeah,
But
no.
no.
This would be like falling on a mid-sized dog.
I will bash it with my club then. Yes.
Okay. And what does Dorvish plan to do this turn?
I am going to make an extremely high-pitched, shrieking, shrill noise on my flute, and I'm going to hope that it, kind of musically makes the rats want to leave the area.
Okay, so you're.
I mean, it's at higher levels. The Bardi thing gets the ability to tame animals.
I would say that you could be attempting to scare them away. Also, though, so you still have your torch. They are afraid of fire, so we will. You'll get a bonus for this, trying to scare them away. What is Dentry going to do? Are you going to continue to fight the rat that's on you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I assume Umroth is going to attempt to continue to fight his rat.
I want to try and hit the rat that's on Cassandra.
Okay, you can do that. So the rats get to go first. They are going to attack Cassandra at a -2. Ooh, and they miss. You block him with your shield and kind of push him back. The rat on Umroth is going to attempt to attack, but he only gets a 14. And that is a miss. And on Dentry, gross. It's a 3 and a miss. So Cassandra, you have just pushed this rat off of you, and you can make your attack.
I rolled a 13.
13. Hold on. That is a hit.
Sweet. So 1d4 damage. I got 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
You bring your club down and you bring it down and shatter this rat's spine, and it dies.
Sweet. Take that.
Dorvish, you can make a. Well, let me see. Let me take a look at Bard.
Yeah, I'm kind of winging it here. I'm just kind of playing off that any of my charming abilities is kind of really out of combat type things, but I'm trying to go to the primitive nature of rats and make them feel uncomfortable.
They are going to make a save versus spells, but without the +2 for your fascinating music play, because they are afraid of your torch. And they fail. So the rats are starting to scurry and flee back towards this hole that has been knocked in the wall. Dentry, you've got a rat on you.
We'll attack it. 7.
Ooh. That, I believe, is going to be a miss. Let me double check.
Hit last time, so I assume it missed this time.
Yeah, it misses. And Umroth, you're going to... So Cassandra's rat is dead. You could turn and swing on Dentry's rat. Just follow through. Are you there, Umroth?
Oh, sorry. You said Cassandra's rat is dead?
Yes, she smashed him.
Okay. Is there one I can swing at?
Yeah, you could just follow through and hit the one on Dentry. Ooh.
Only a 7.
Nope, that is a miss. Somebody roll a d6.
You just want me to continue on with it, everybody, I guess?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Ooh.
that's what you get.
Okay, so what is Cassandra going to do this turn? Or
Are there
this round?
rats within reach to smack?
Yeah, you could hit the rat that's attacking Dentry.
I'll do my best.
Dorvish, what are you going to do this round?
Well, I mean, I think I sent them scurrying.
Oh, that's right. The rats are running away. Are you going to give chase to the rats? Or
I
you
mean,
just-
well, as they leave, I might as well take a cheap shot. I mean, gosh,
throw
I
another
should throw
dagger.
a dagger. Yeah, I should throw another dagger
Okay.
at one that is attempting to flee.
Dentry, are you going to give chase on the rats?
For glory.
Okay. And Umroth, are you going to give chase on the rats?
No, I think I'm going to switch weapons to a sling.
Okay. So you're switching to your sling. The rats bravely run away, and they are running back towards this hole in the wall. So, Dorvish, you want to throw your dagger?
I sure do. So this is with I add my dex modifier. I want to roll high. Is that what I want to do?
Correct.
That's a 9.
That is a miss.
Ching, ching, ching.
Yeah, your dagger goes through the hole, and you hear it kind of echo as it clanks down what sounds like some stairs.
Fair enough. I should be able to retrieve the one that I hit in the dude's head here.
So
Hopefully.
it's running away with the dagger sticking out of its head.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Cassandra, were you going to give chase?
Yeah, they bit me. I'm fucking mad.
So the rats have 40 feet of movement, so they are 10 feet faster than you are. They are running quite speedily towards the hole.
Okay, I'll still run after him.
Okay. Rats are gonna...
It appears that we're all running after him.
Okay.
We'll get a look at where they're coming from, and we can try and, block it off somehow.
Yeah.
So you guys give chase to the rats, and... Hold on here. Whoops. And let me... I forgot to do... I need my referee map up. That is area... You go through 3 and down into 4. So, you, as you get through this area, you can see that the cobblestones are broken and strewn about in rubble, and there's a hole in the east wall, and you see just pitch blackness. And there's a set of naturally cut stone stairs that descend about 15 feet into the darkness below. and you can hear rushing water or wind. Something is echoing up from these stairs, and you get down to the bottom, and there's a dank, earthy smell. It smells like wet earth, moss, wet rocks. The floor is made of broken stones and dirt, and along with the walls, the ceiling is 20 feet, and everything is dark except for of course, your torch. And you see that there is to the north here. There is an iron, like a cell door. There's a barred door, and coming from the east, from this passageway, you can hear the sound of crashing water. It sounds like a waterfall or rapids. And to the south, there's a archway here that leads to a further room that is cloaked in darkness. We'll do a new round. So go ahead and roll a d6.
Damn it.
The rats are going to hold their ground and make their attack. Here's my rats. -2. The first one's going to attack Dentry.
Oh.
18, I believe, hits. I'm sorry, Dentry.
Sorry,
what was your AC?
5.
Yeah, that hits. For 2 points of damage, and you need to roll a
Dang,
d20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about being diseased. The one with the dagger in its forehead is going to attack Umroth and miss with a 3. Cassandra, what are you doing?
I realized how hurt I am, and I'm hiding behind my friends.
Okay. Okay. Dorvish, what are you doing?
I'm going to go ahead and touch the one with the dagger in its head with the torch. I'm just going to try to burn it.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack. And you can add your strength modifier to that attack. Basically, you're using the torch like a club, and you're trying to burn it.
Yeah, well, okay.
That
An
is
18.
a hit. Hold on here.
I had a -1 to hit with that. I am not strong. That's my weakest stat.
Hey, that works though.
Yeah, but I figured setting it on fire wouldn't make me use a dagger. Just give me back my dagger, you foul fiend. Disgusting creature. I'm walking through your filth. How dare you?
So roll 1d4 plus. Well, just roll 1d4 for damage.
Another 1.
Okay, and there is a 1 in 6 chance that this rat. Nope, he doesn't catch fire. You smell burnt fur now wafting up, but he takes 1 point of damage. Dentry, what are you gonna do?
Swing my sword.
All right.
For honor. Fucking these dice. Another 7.
Oh shit!
I've been rolling different dice and they keep coming up 7.
Ugh, that's terrible. Umroth, you've got a rat on you. You can swing on him, or you switch to your sling. Are you backing off? And you can back off and hit him with your sling.
Can I switch back to my sword?
Yeah.
Can I swing?
Yeah, I'll let you swing.
All right.
Swing, bada bada bada.
And a miss.
Swing.
Shit. All right. True level 1 characters. You're not superheroes. Roll a d6. New round.
Okay.
Ooh, you can only go up from the rats unless we match it. Nice. So, Cassandra, what are you doing? How many hit points does Cassandra have left?
So I had 6 in all, and now I got 3. So I could totally die if I don't hide behind people.
Yeah, that's true. So Cassandra is taking cover. Dorvish, what are you doing?
God.
More of the same?
Well, I really want to draw another dagger and stick it into, I really want to lean more on my dex. So hopefully, sticky with the dagger.
You wanna make a dagger attack? You can.
Yeah, I do. I want to draw my last dagger and stick him with it.
Go for it. So if you're using it as a melee, if you're stabbing him, then it would be plus your strength.
I understand, but
you weren't gonna hit anything with a 6.
Right. So there.
And Dentry. Let's see if you get another 7.
Well, let's try. I'm gonna try this.
There you go. 20 hits. Roll your damage. A 1d8 for a sword. That is a very dead rat. You swing your sword and you slice this rat in half lengthways. So you through his side, and this rat plops to the ground in 2 completely separate rat pieces, a top and a bottom.
Excellent.
Umroth, what would you like to do?
Swing away.
Go for it.
13.
13. Hits.
All
You're gonna
right.
kill a rat. Yes, you swing, you bring your sword down, and it crashes through the top of this rat's head, and kind of you see sparks come off because it glances off of Dorvish's dagger that's sticking out of its head, but you cleave this rat in twain. The first thing I need to do, I need to do some math.
Are my daggers retrievable now?
Yes.
Hell yes.
So that is.
Clean them off before I put them back in the little spots as best I can.
It is.
So if we're not in combat anymore, I want to give the sling and the pouch of stones I have to Dwarvish there.
Okay.
Slings go a little farther than daggers.
That is true.
Yes.
Save you money.
I have a sling. I didn't use it. But
Oh, all right.
I have some stones too.
All right.
Yeah, I just thought it would be cool to throw daggers, and then I ended up getting in melee combat because I torch.
Who wants to roll percentage? You're going to get 3 percentage rolls.
I'll do it once.
Yeah, y'all can't make me do that. You made me roll initiative, so that's my job.
49, nothing.
At 33.
33. Wow. Okay, so with a 33, and I need to do more math.
A potion of healing.
No.
Oh, well. Those are doors all the way around us. Is that where we're?
Yes, these are archways that lead off, and this is actually a cell door that leads to the north that is closed.
Great.
Hold on a second here. So, Cassandra, you find in the rat's nest there is 400 silver pieces. Or I'm sorry, not 400, 4,000 silver pieces. And who wants to make the last percentage roll?
That's 400 gold.
Yeah.
And how many of us are there? Is there 4 of us?
Yeah, there would be one more roll. There were 3 rats.
Roll again, Cassandra.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing well so far.
I do good with percentage for some reason. 70.
Nothing. So,
Damn it. Everybody
we
gets 100 gold.
Yeah, so you can divide that up. There's 405 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces total is what you have earned.
Oh, okay.
And everybody gets
400. Can you please repeat the gold and silver?
So there's 405 gold pieces divided by 4, so that's damn it. Where did
401 or I'm sorry, 101 gold and then you said 4 silver pieces.
Yep, and so everybody gets 1 silver piece.
Well, 2, because you said 405 gold, and that 5 gold would turn into 10 silver, so we can work that out to like 2 silver.
Yeah, that works. You also
Yay.
each get 105. You get 100. Each of you gets 105 experience points total.
Good. Man. I got rocked.
So
That's
All right, we can go back up to the diner eventually and sleep for free.
So for Dorvish, that's 52.5 XP per class. Yeah, that worked out well. So that is our first big combat. We will close it up here and decide which direction you guys want to go, east, north, or south. You were down in catacombs that nobody knew that this was down beneath the cellar, or that there were even catacombs underneath the town of Braunhaven. There's been a rumor that there was a undercroft beneath the All Faiths Temple that held burial sites and tombs of the Braun family and famous people throughout the region in the past couple of centuries, but nobody knew that this actually existed. From what you're seeing down here, at one time these catacombs were actually paved, and that this was a fairly well-developed series of catacombs, whereas now over the years that the paving stones have cracked and broken and are covered in moss and dirt. And like I said, you can hear, coming from this archway to the east, you can hear the crash of water, like a waterfall, coming from the east. But we will pick up the thing in the basement next week at 12 o'clock.
Did we decide if we wanted to actually look in the doorway for the thing, or was this like, because we went down some stairs chasing rats, but did we look at that doorway upstairs?
So this doorway upstairs, I mean, you went down to see what was down there. This doorway leads back up into the Braunhaus. This is this doorway. Yes, there is another doorway to the south here. You didn't check out.
Let's do it next week.
Throwing that out the park.
Okay, so I will move you guys up to here, and you can check the south doorway next week.
All right.
all right. Thank
All right.
you.
Have a good
fun.
day, you guys. Happy Super Bowl. I will see you next week at 12 o'clock.
All right.
Hasta la bye bye.